get the vibe. Sudowrite rhythm, let the stories come alive from the spark of desire.
Menon and John Creason are here for the ultimate, not the penultimate, but the ultimate Homeroom Engine series workshop. Today is about finishing strong.
Part 4 of the series, Homeroom Engine, Back to School Middle Grade Series.
Hi, I'm Manon and this is John. We are Sudowrite instructors. Quick ground rules: camera and mic off to keep audio clean. Got questions? Raise your hand or type question in chat. We'll do Q&A at the end, and we stick around after recording stops for off-camera questions. You'll get a feedback email. We love constructive notes and appreciate 5-star ratings if this helped. Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's get started.
Next month, I'm going to find something with a kid voice and a kid way of saying this. That sounds going to be very important to know.
So, Ellie, I think one of the things that I keep seeing with that is that it's like the AI wants to tell people what it just wrote.
Yeah.
And so you see a lot of that where it's like it's so happy that it successfully gave you the thing it wants to give you. It repeats or it tells you what it just did. And you've got to look for those AI things to cut those out because they're unnecessary. Are you seeing them mostly at the end of chapters or is it mixed in with every scene?
It's like dialogue tags, and if the character's doing something, they have to add that little word in. They can't just do the thing. He has to say how they done it. And the second thing that really drives me mad is when it does it smell of X and Y and then a smarmy comment. And you think, just tell me what it smells of and explain that smell.
Yeah, the problem is I like those things, but you're right. It can be annoying when it's every single chapter, every single time it walks into a different room. The smell of this and desperation, or this and disappointment.
I don't have that. Are you writing a recipes book or something?
Nope. I'm using my tool set that I'm sharing with people, but I'm liking it. So that's the problem is I like it, and so everyone gets it. But it's part of the snark, I think. And how do you go for snark that doesn't repeat those things or that doesn't, like right now, everything's about a
Amplify
Tuesday.
it, yeah.
Yeah, and it just amplifying it is exactly right.
It's like the smell of the old paper when they walk inside the library.
I don't mind that, but it's deep paper and disappointment is what people get. I mean, it's funny, but it's not always funny every single time it does. So you have to go through and get rid of that stuff.
To me, it's just too much of an AI. If I read it, I'll go, oh, AI. It puts me off, even though I use AI.
Because you recognize it as AI, where other people may not.
Yeah.
And if it was only in the story once, it might be okay, or a few times.
I totally agree with that because no matter what, the AI did learn from past story, from past book, from past author, and we use these in when you write. When I write about children, and there's a little Lily comes inside that library where there's book which seems to be moving, but there's also a smell that she's trying to describe, but only says once. So some of the story, depending on the way they describe it. So middle grade, it's children way, and when you get in the adult, it's a different way to describe the.
Yeah, because also when you're doing a romance, he has a look of something and she can't quite place it. And you think, oh, for God's sake, either place it or take it out.
Or the smell that's uniquely him or something like that. The cinnamon and something that's uniquely him. And I had to figure out how to just say cinnamon's good. We can stick with cinnamon or vanilla.
Maybe that'd be fun.
Makes it sound like he hasn't washed for 5 months.
All right, guys, we are like 3 minutes inside the hours. So we're going to start this show, John. So this is the last round of the session 4 out of 4. So we hope that you had an excellent time and have a series written. Then you just now at the editing and polishing. So we'll do a very quick back to back on the slide that we worked so hard, me and John, during the week. So John, so we got this finishing strong, John and me workshop, and we are leader now. Kind of cool.
Yeah. The multi-book challenge. Series writing involves juggling multiple storylines while maintaining character growth and pacing for young readers. We focus on planning and drafting, but each book in our series needs to polish. Polish will help you finish strong.
Use Sudowrite
so,
toolkit for polishing success. Number 1, expand, generate consistent content and bridge story gaps. Number 2, rewrite, polish and refine for middle grade voice and pacing. Number 3, chat, problem solve, character arcs and plot consistency. Do you want to add something to this, or you just want to go through the
yeah, until we get into the thing where it says we're going to look at something. But yeah, so here I just want to say that we want to do those polishings. We're just going to focus on three sort of like three tools. Expand is for shaping. You can leverage expand to bridge gaps and slow down important moments. When we talk about using expand, the highlighted text is the text that you're expanding. It expands the length, and expanding length equals slowing down the scene.
Mhm.
So if something's happening too quickly, you can slow it down. Anchor text. The anchor text is the rest of the text in the book or in the paragraph or in the next paragraph that you didn't select. So it's anchoring the expand. So it's in between the preceding text and the next text, and it will duplicate that anchor text in the responses you get from an expand. Remember, you can always use instructions to help guide your narrative flow. You insert them directly into your prose. I use brackets to hold my instructions. You don't have to. I find it easier to find later. Some people use star, 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 or something that you can search for to make sure you didn't leave an instruction inside your prose. And then pacing. Spend more time where it needs it. AI can be a plot bunny. Give it a rest. Let's focus on this for a little while.
So rewrite for middle grade magic. Adjustment made here will ensure your writing resonate with young readers' emotional and cognitive needs, middle grade back to school.
So that would be a good time to drop in the middle grade docs.
Do you have it, or do you want me to put it down?
Let me see if I can grab your screen.
I put it in the chat as I start. Oh, now you got this, the whole thing.
I took
You
it
even
over.
have the sharing.
Oh, I have the sharing?
Hold on. Let's put back Canva.
Oh, yeah, definitely share the public access to the slides so everyone can have access to it. But also, don't forget this link. And I will show you what I want you guys to look at here. Under edits polishing, somebody took it over again.
Do you have it? It's a bit hard for me to get. I can get the chat and get the first stuff we got. And he took the screen again.
I took the screen. Let me give it the hold it for a sec.
All right, I'll go get the
chat?
one at the start of the. I think we can. Can we do the reshare? No, we can't. So copy, insert number 1. So that's the Notion.
Yeah.
And you already shared the Google. Oh, Ellie did. Thank you, Ellie.
Fantastic. So what I wanted to point out is that I added a few things here at the bottom underneath our edits polishing. And I have, when we talk about rewrite, in here specifically for rewrite, I've got some prompts that you can use, like rewrite this using shorter sentences and simpler vocabulary while keeping the main ideas intact. So these are
Are you talking
custom
about this
rewrites
one?
that you can do. Yeah,
So you add stuff at the bottom.
yeah. No, not the very bottom, the sort of in between bottom. There,
Add?
polishing,
Okay.
edits polishing,
Mm-hmm.
above update,
It is it?
above, yeah, click on the little arrow next to edits polishing there. And if you look at rewrite, you can see that there are a bunch of rewrites that you can use. So I've given you some prompts that you could use or be inspired for generating your own questions to ask, both rewrite, expand, and chat, things to give you tools to manipulate what you're seeing, and maybe as you read your stuff, you can kind of say, okay, that's the kind of thing I need, and you can go after it and get it.
Nice to have.
Also, I totally recommend using my plugin called the Audit, which is up there. Yeah. The chapter by chapter story audit is amazing. I've been using it lately, and it's just I'm happy to use it on a full book. It works great on 8 chapters. It works great on any number of chapters, and it just gives me a general assessment, and it gives me a chapter by chapter thing, so I can sort of duplicate my generated work so I don't lose it, and then run the story audit, and then use the story audit to update the book and see if I like it better after the changes I make.
So this is on the last page of the document, the Google document, where I think I got pretty much all the latest of all those plugins we're using, John.
And Nanon's name repetition reducer is a good one. How do you use that one?
You just take it where your story is and you click on it, and it's going to go to town and rewrite your story and remove those pesky little name coming back. It's going to put, if that's a girl, a she, her. If it's many people, they and them. If it's too many repetition and it's a little helper, by example, it will change to little helper or the little explorer, things like that.
So if you see in your text that it's using the names over and over and over again, as opposed to using pronouns. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, because I was looking at one of the story, and Lily was 142 times inside like 11,000 words. Okay, that's a lot of Lily. So I took that.
Fantastic.
He did a good job.
Okay, let's go back to the presentation.
Yes, sir. Sharing Canva.
There's your middle grade magic. Does the repetition reducer eliminate in the narration or when you see the characters verbally using names too much? Is a question from the audience.
Okay, sorry. I don't see the question.
I'll repeat again. Does the repetition reducer eliminate in narration or when you see the characters verbally using names too much in dialogue?
No, he's not going to touch the dialogue. He will remove the repetition inside the little tags, the pesky little tag. Like Lily says, oh, the beautiful flowers. Lily says is going to remove the Lily says, because if the character is already well established, he's going to put she said if it has to be there. Does that answer the question?
Does it get rid of some of those tags completely, or is it just
He reduced them, but we'll have probably to do a bigger plugin to have more than remove those pesky tag. For me, I don't have a whole lot of those tags because of what I put inside my extra instruction.
Yeah, I have naked dialogue sometimes, and Excellent is pretty good at giving me the kind of naked dialogue that I want. Some models will give you naked dialogue, like no quotes, no nothing, just a little script, and that's not necessarily what I'm looking for. But it's like you have to figure out how do you tell this LLM to give you the level of what you're looking for. And genre helps shape that a lot. So because you're writing middle grade, it understands that the kids can get lost, and so it's going to give you she said, he says, unless it's really obvious, and then
Mhm.
it'll just go back and forth between the two characters.
One
Okay,
thing,
yeah, yes.
one thing which really, really helped, because I did have a lot of chat with Charlie, and I says, listen, my editor likes to have this. How can I tell the AI that he is the best editor for the middle grade school? Uh, every book that he sells, they are the bestseller and all that stuff. How do I tell you to remove those tags and do this and be the best editor in the world? And believe it or not, the answer that ChatGPT is telling you, well, you tell me that I'm the best editor in the world, I'm going to do the work for you. You put that in your extra instruction, and that remove a lot of those pesky little things. So he has, how would I say that? He has a sense of honor.
Has a sense of identity or of role.
Play.
What kind of a writer is it? Is he a ghostwriter that's going to put in all the junk that you have to rip out, or is he the editor that's going to rip out all the junk?
Yeah.
You know, how does it go? So that's sort of what this card is about. It says use the chat within Sudowrite because it has access to all your story Bible information. It has
Mm-hmm.
access to the pages and all the documents that you're working with, so you can ask it questions about your story that you would ask a human being. But a human being that's like read everything and has been working with you the whole time. And if you want to take your stuff into other chats, do it. Try without any of the background information first to see what is in the text as opposed to what's in the whole project.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then at some point you may want to be able to bring all the other supporting documentation in and ask questions about, okay, does the text mirror what is in my planning information? Is it working that way? Have I overwritten? Does the story end where I said it was going to end? Am I set up to do the second book? Is the second book the same second book that I thought I was going to write next? That's this element of using chat, and understand we're doing middle grade stuff. You're doing kids stuff. Claude loves it. Chat GPT loves it. All the LLMs will be very happy to give you ideas and to make suggestions about how to make your work stronger, especially if it knows the target audience.
Mm-hmm.
And parents are part of that target audience. So include them, include their concerns, include the kind of relationship you want to have with parents and the kids' readers.
Yeah, therefore the big deep research we did at the start, that information should be already inside that deep research, which is connecting the daisy chain.
Yes.
And even if you're doing shorter story like my 365 stories, which I've been working on it for 3 years now, I take my story, which are like basically between 2 to 4,000 words, and it's not enough details to satisfy the readers. So by taking those and bring them back inside Sudowrite and using all those plugins and chatting with chat, I got really, really good result. Maybe too long now. I have to get that editor to reduce, but it makes a huge difference. So anything you wrote in the past, bring it in because you can have a lot of fun. And by connecting that deep research and rewrite, as you know, I take my story, I put them inside the scene, and I say, please fix my scene into chapter outline, and the Sudowrite redo my whole story in outline with setting and setup and this and that. And then by attaching to that deep research for that kind of story, because there are bedtime story, short story, and a series of 7 per book. So I did ask ChatGPT, give me a deep research and please tell me the 5 bestseller in the world who write in the same genre than me. And that's what I attached to my new story, which I'm still editing now I'm on book 12.
Fantastic. This is good info. Let's go to the next page.
Polishing your chapter book, a hand-on exercise to enhance your writing. Chapter by chapter audit, plugin makes per chapter suggestion. Which one is it?
So this is what I was going to do. I was going to go and try to do this on this page, which is essentially try using expand, try using a rewrite, and try chatting with it and giving you an idea about the chapter by chapter
All right.
audit.
You want to take the screen and show us?
Let me check to make sure I actually have anything to work with here. My computer is still writing, so I don't have anything to work with right now. Maybe we'll come back to it later, or unless Manon, you want to try doing my chapter by chapter audit on one of your
I can do it
finished
here, right here.
ish.
This is the video that I used the whole time on the series of the book here.
Okay.
So, book one, Mop and Magic.
We don't see your screen, or we don't see the book.
Okay, hold on. Somehow the sharing is not showing the right screen. Sit on Canva. Okay. This one. There we go. You see that?
Yes, mops and magic.
All right. So which one we start with?
Let's grab the whole thing and run it through the audit.
Let's see if I have the audit on this. I should. I think I put them all in the bottom. This one?
Yeah, that one.
Don't have to
You don't
put
need
them.
to add any instructions, but you can cut out of it if you don't want to use it. This is not the cheapest thing to do, but it's effective. So I actually
Yeah.
think it's worth it.
Show it what's in class. So my credit instead of theirs.
It also will work on very long books. This is Gemini Pro 2.5. Gemini Pro 2.5 is really good at doing things iteratively and giving you every chapter and doing that for every single chapter. Some things have clustered outlines and things, and that's upsetting, but this is pretty good. And it's also, like I set the limit at maybe 350,000 words in a book. So it whether or not you get all the results at the end, I'm not too sure, but I said 20,000 words output.
Okay. So we can start at the start.
Yeah, you can start looking at the top.
So you start with the prologue.
Here's a chapter. Yeah. So the summary is a school janitor. It's also good for finding out information about the story that maybe you haven't read yet. Just to get the summary about what's going on. Though for that, I would use the whole book evaluator, which is a lot cheaper and will give you sort of a red or green check about whether or not it's good enough yet.
DeepSeek?
Yeah, the DeepSeek is cheap. It's like maybe 1,000 for the entire book. And do you want to show us what this cost, or did it come up yet?
It will be at the bottom. Let's see if it's finished. 12 and the rest.
Looks like it started clustering chapters, which is
maybe,
annoying.
yeah. So at
3,000 words,
3,380 words. And I have to take your head off my little screen so I can see how much it costs. 913. No, that's the other one.
That's the other one.
So 16.
16,000. So highlighted words was 19,000. So it's almost a credit per word that it's checking. But I think it's worth it because what do I want? I want to use this to find out what I should do, and I do use it back and forth. Let's take a quick look at the whole story evaluation to just sort of get an overview about what we think about the story right now. This is a 20,000 or 19,000 word story. It says top line verdict, ready for editing, publishing, minor polish recommended. Story is fundamentally sound, characters immersive, world building adheres to genre, while offering originality in its execution. Minor polishing during editing will enhance readiness. And then it gives us 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 for pacing, 9 out of 10 for character development, and a green check, 10 out of 10 for world building and setting. I've been getting good numbers on world building. I'm trying to remember why. I feel like that is tied to some of the steps that we've been taking in creating more story and Bible stuff.
Yeah. So 8 out of 10, 9, 10, 9, 10.
Yeah, these are great numbers. So
yeah, but it's a story also kind of polished already. I did put it through a couple of editing, and I did read also. And most of you guys probably already read that one because it's the one I used to do the whole middle grade video the whole time. So this is the one.
Nice. I love it. Okay, so let's take a look at the first chapter. And that was under 1,000 for like a quick evaluation and a sort of a summary up at the top about what the story's about. So we start off with the school janitor. Let's stay in the prologue.
And you said the first chapter.
I know, but I meant the prologue.
I'm a very good listener.
I know. You are an AI, but you're not an AI. You are my.
Bye, Bear.
Hey, Bear, thanks for coming. The school janitor. Repetition. The phrase most people is used 3 times in the opening paragraph. While stylistic, it could be tightened for greater impact. So let's take a look at that. The janitor's closet door stands unremarkable in the empty school hallway. Most people walk past it daily without a second glance. Most people aren't looking for magic. Most people aren't watching for an old man with a ring of impossible keys. But tonight, someone is. I think that's beautiful. I'm leaving most people, most people, most people. That's what I want. I love that way to start. So that feels great.
Good.
But it's actually complaining about it. So often I think usually this thing will tell me it's okay if it's in the very beginning and it does provide that kind of rhythm and that kind of readability. And yes, it's definitely conscious repetition. Now the plugin doesn't always call it out as it should be fixed. It sometimes says that it is conscious and that it looks good. So let's see, what do we have? We have foreshadow the villain. The Watcher is a generic shadow. It is a prime opportunity to drop a single specific sensory detail that will pay off later. A scent of ozone, a glint of purple light, a sound like grinding stones. So, maybe we could add something into the Watcher that is exactly that kind of thing. Connecting the micro problem to the macro problem. The dispute between saplings feels small and self-contained. It could be used to foreshadow the book's larger conflict. For example, the sapling's stubbornness could be described as an unnatural greed or darkness in the root that hints at the corruption spreading from the cloud kingdom. Ooh, there's all these things happening in there. I love this idea of something in the root of a sapling is a great. So the willow's branches dip, and what the saplings again, youth. Everyone step back, you know what I mean. Trees shift, their roots pulling in slightly to create a small clearing, and the center stands at defiant. So can you think of something that you might change to add that root is darkening? Oh, actually, let's go down. It has specific ideas.
Which one?
Let's look at the specific recommendations and see if it actually gives us one. So we have a complaint about the opening, leave the opening. Make the Watcher specific. Yeah, give the Watcher one unique. The shadow by the drinking fountain stretched. A faint, sickly, sweet scent of ozone lingered in its wake. So you could add something like that, or you could just use it. If ozone is a trigger that you use in your story for the Watcher, adding it in early might be good, or adding something that is.
Does he talk about this paragraph?
It says it's a shadow by the drinking fountain. Is there a drinking fountain in here? Yes, he doesn't see the shadow that shifts slightly. Fourth paragraph down.
Yeah, that's more than one paragraph, right?
Yeah. We're not in. Wait, this is about the whole.
By the drinking fountain, yeah. So what would you do there? You would take a bit more and.
No, I would just take the he doesn't see the shadow that shifts slightly behind the drinking fountain and add something like he doesn't smell the ozone that lingers in the air, or something like that. Again, go back to the repetition. It might work.
So quick edit or rewrite?
Just add a line.
Oh.
Add a repetition. Add a he doesn't see the shadow. He doesn't smell the sickly sweet scent of ozone.
Scent?
No. Just leave the first line and then another line or paragraph saying he doesn't smell the sickly sweet that drifts through the hall, something like that.
would I do something else with this? Where's that rewrite?
It's right there called My Voice Book One, What Goes Bump in the Night.
Oh, if I want to get, ooh,
You
if I
got a
want to
lot of
get
stories.
the no more rewrite, okay, let's try this one, see what that look like. I think I have to remove some of my voice.
I don't think you can remove your voices, can you yet? Doesn't notice the shadow
I
that
don't.
tilts and stretches behind the drinking fountain, sliding a fraction to the left. He doesn't see it drift, doesn't catch the sweet scent curling through the hallways, threading between lockers, tugging at the edges of the morning. That might work. I mean, you gotta decide is what's nice about it the way it was before is it's very discreet and it's like a single short paragraph, one
Yeah.
line.
It
So
always depends on so many words you want in your book. If you have to reduce, well, you're definitely not going to go with a big thing like that.
right, if you're trying to close things down. But
Mhm.
if it works like this, I always forget we have the My Voice rewrite. That's a great way to sort of put something in that you don't know quite exactly what you're looking for, but then it gives you a suggestion that it might work.
That's one thing that the two star make everything in big letters.
Yes, it does. It essentially it doesn't. It's like it bolds it. It puts it into bold
Mm.
because it's helping you out with markup language, and it doesn't. If you just paste in stuff with markup, it
So
doesn't
this is
fix
a
it.
good example on how to use that. Let's get to a different example. It's already 4:31.
Okay. The next one is how do we use well, I think the rewrite is good for the my rewrite, though if you select something that might actually let's go back to um the information about what to do in the paragraph and let's see if there's another thing that we can make to this prologue, another edit that we might
Where's my
look
editor?
for.
Hold on, that's the
Yeah,
let's close this one.
minimize things. There you go.
The specific
Elevate the
recommendation.
sapling conflict. It's in, yeah. Change the tree's oblique slightly dialogue slightly. Instead of just quarreling over root space, have the oak say there is a wrongness in the soil. Keeper, it makes the young ones greedy. So you could just drop that in, or you can go to where that's going on and you can ask for a rewrite.
Talking about this one here.
Yeah. So let's look for the sapling conflict, the tree's dialogue.
It wasn't too far. The sapling is broad, da da da. There is. There's always trouble.
Keeper, a massive oak. You come, there's trouble. So let's select that all the way down through where they stop talking. And youth is in there. And is there more after the old man sighs? Yeah. They rustle indignantly.
So you want to go all the way down?
As long as the dialogue is going. Because what we're going to ask for is a rewrite.
That should be settling journal snap.
Let's drop it to old. Oh yeah, it's there. That's a good place to go.
Yeah.
And then so tell it to elevate the sapling conflict. So
Okay.
let's do a rewrite, a regular rewrite,
I
and a
want to do a
custom.
rewrite, but my where's my rewrite under John? No,
More
actually on the
tools.
wrong one. Rewrite.
And instead of rephrase, you want customize. And yet let's use the wording from there, which says elevate the sapling conflict.
This is the thing when we have so much. Now you can see why it takes so long to write a book because you have to go back and forth. So there is a wrongness. That's that the one here.
Right. So tell it to elevate the sapling conflict. Use the title there. Yeah, just use that as your request. And let's see what it gives us.
I think that time is people have question.
Keeper groans a massive oak. Now, what's great about rewrite, the way it is now, is that the stuff that's in white is what you had before. The stuff that's in purple, it's what AI has come up with and added to the story. So it shows you how much has been puffed into it. And so you've got 287 because 307, that's not expand. Expand would give you 600 to 1,000 words for that chunk. And you could do the same kind of thing with expand, but again, it would make it much longer, and it would probably bloat this section, affecting pacing. If you're looking for pacing issues, sometimes at the end of the book, it's rushing too fast to get to the end, or the end of a chapter is getting too quick. It's like, oh, I got to wrap up quick, and it's wrapping up quick. So you want to use expand in those positions. But this is actually pretty good. Let's read it a little bit and see what it sounds like. Did you insert it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now the problem is when you insert it, you can't see what's white and what's
No, it's
purple.
over here. So if you want to see the white and the purple, it's there.
Yeah, let's do that. So Keeper groans a massive oak, its bark shifting to form something like a face. You've come. The kingdom is at risk. What's happened? The old man's posture stiffens, his hand instinctively reaching for something inside his coat. The rustling intensifies as the trees converse among themselves. Their language is mostly creaks and groans, but somehow the old man understands. The cloud kingdom border. His eyes lift. Breached again? A willow's branches dip in what might be a nod. The youngest oak has grown into the barrier. Its roots have punctured the veil between realms. The old man's face darkened. So my question there from Manon is, does that give too much information away?
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't want to put that into our story.
No.
Reckless. He pulls out a glass vial with silver dust that seems to glow in its own inner moonlight. Everyone strengthen your roots. This might cause turbulence. The trees shift their trunks, groaning as they anchor themselves deeper. In the center stands a defiant sapling, its young trunk pulsing with unnatural blue light where it's pierced the invisible boundary. You've torn open a doorway to a realm we've kept sealed for centuries, the old man says. The Cloud Kingdom's magic is not compatible with ours. The sapling's leaf rustles with what sounds like laughter. This isn't rebellion, young tree. This is existential danger. The last branch nearly destroyed both worlds. He sprinkles the silver dust. Where it falls, the ground splits open, glowing blue fissures. The air vibrates with a note. The sapling wreathes in pain. The blue light dims. A temporary seal, the old man says. The council must be informed. If the Cloud King discovers this weakness, he doesn't finish the thought. Older trees creak with unmistakable dread. Okay, so this feels, it's gotten older.
Yeah. Older
and
feel.
it's telling the rest of the story, and I've got no idea if this has any alignment with the rest of the story or not.
No, you kind of lose the tempo of the story where the kids or whoever is reading the story is already used to that tempo, and that had to the tempo that if you put it inside the editor is going to tell it's basically taking the tempo of the story out of context and it's too much. So right there, the editor inside Sudowrite will tell you that's too much.
I agree. So I wouldn't put this into the story. What I might do is actually use the suggestion, which was just a single line that kind of gives you an idea about where to stick it in. The other thing I would say is this is really good for doing more simple things, like I need to change the tense. This is some reason this chapter got written in past tense. It needs to be present tense. And what's really great about the purple and the white is you can see that it only changes information and words related to tense. So I might use something more like that.
All right. Just try to see if it will get less wordy but more action this way.
Okay, so you're applying a show not tell on top of the result that we just got.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot shorter, is it?
Don't seem to be shorter, is it? Yeah,
No,
it's
actually,
shorter
these
by
are
a
all about
little
the
bit.
same words, little bit.
Yeah, by 60 words. So the massive oak bark ripple in the split, forming crevices that deepen into eye socket and a jagged mouth. I like that better.
Yeah, I like the way that it did that.
Yeah, so he changed the start of it to something which is more interesting for children to read. Then the keeper is over here. The word emerged as splinter in the air, sap beads at the corner of its wooden lips. The older man's finger twitched towards his coat pocket. His spine straightened, or his back. These remove these and put word that children
Simpler
understand.
words. Yeah.
Yeah, back. Straighten with a audible crack. Wind crushed through the canopy. Branch scrape against each other in a cacophony of wood whispers. The old man tilted his head, listening, his eyes widening. The cloud kingdom, his voice catch. Again? A willow bend low, and I love willow. Its trailing frown sweeping the forest floor in a gesture that mimic a country bow. A courtly bow.
Courtly
Bow,
bow.
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 You know what? Here I'm reading it, and a thing in my head is telling me as a broom.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? My head is already reading before I read it. In my mind, it says
Mhm.
it should be more like towards a broom than this.
Mhm.
So things like that. So when you read, leave also your imagination going.
In the background, you can think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
You
it's
can
not.
write. Yeah.
You
So
read,
this
you
is
write, and think about it and put yourself in the children's shoes. So that's another example that I like to use, and as I read, changing things and go quickly about it so it doesn't just fly away from me.
exactly.
hmm
Okay, cool. So that was
That
a
was
little
the
bit of rewrite, a
expand and
little bit.
rewrite, and then
Yeah,
the
and
next
the
one
show
is
not tell. I haven't used that a lot, and I really like what it did to the description of the
yeah,
face opening up and talking and splinters and stuff.
yeah. It works for good for the children books for sure. The next one is
Uh,
utilize the chat.
okay, so let's try chat. Let's switch open chat and let's. You may want to get rid of this stuff that we added in here.
Depending of which part of you want to chat about.
Let's chat about the entire story.
Okay.
So let's get rid of the piece that we added in that we don't like using.
Okay, so let's keep this off so it doesn't get mixed up.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one I have. I think I have another one with a bracket like that.
I also advise before you start doing these things, which I didn't tell Mount to do, is make a copy and work on the copy so that you can always easily go back to the one that you didn't edit because you might want to take that one off to ChatGPT or something and get it to do a rewrite.
Yeah,
Get Claude to
sometimes
do
this
a
one
rewrite.
doesn't work, so sometimes it's a good idea to do that.
Also, when you copy a document, it does not copy the history.
No, it doesn't.
So what I would recommend is copy the document and then open up the history so that it saves it and then start editing on it. So you can always go back to what it was at the start.
So using quick chat.
Why don't we ask one of the questions that's actually in the
Oh, I don't have the
share
question.
that I shared.
Do you see? I don't see a question anymore. So let's close.
In middle grade, back to school, there's a bunch of questions you can ask chat suggestions. Why don't we try one of those? Let me see if I can find one.
Yeah, check if you can find them. I'm not sure where. We find the opening, first paragraph, da 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 da. You can ask question about the character.
Yes, that's one thing to do. Well, let's see if we can think of something that would work with this story and what kind of thing I might ask since I don't know a whole lot about the story. So one is character consistency and development. Another one was plot structure analysis, world building and continuity. We know those are good. Voice and age appropriate. So why don't we ask, where does my narrator sound too adult for the target audience?
And where you get these
I'll
questions
give you a
from?
copy.
Is it in chat?
It's in the examples, middle grades, back to school chat. at the bottom.
Okay, hold on. I'm showing us a screen, but I don't think you guys see what I'm showing.
We can see it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So under past world building, voice and age appropriate, where does my narrator sound to adult? I love the idea of vocabulary or concepts are too advanced for middle graders. Let's try that one because I'm interested to see what it pulls out. I don't always want to dumb things down completely, but I am interested in that kind of evaluation to see if it makes suggestions to me that says, here, you could try something different.
Which one you want? This one?
Let's do vocabulary or concepts. I feel like that's even
Where do you see vocabulary? Oh, that
broader
one.
and more. Yeah, let's try that one.
Okay.
And we're using standards, so this isn't costing extra. When writing for middle graders,
Whoa, is that having a lot to say?
details. It's best to keep the language clear. Is it?
Reading level and comprehensive ability. Here are the vocabulary and concept that may be too advanced. Complex vocabulary word like nebulous, perspicacious, perspicacious.
Perspicacious.
Okay, it's even too hard for me.
Juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition
Nebulous.
might be
Do you have?
challenging. Yeah, it is
Okay.
challenging.
Is it in your book? I mean, that's the question. So
That's
let's
a good
ask it.
question. Let's see if it's in a book. So, um, doesn't tell me if it's there, does it?
It's reading. Yeah, I don't think it's looking at your book.
I think it's reading
Uh,
everything else on the side, though.
Select your book and ask it a question. It's tell to check the book for just say something. Yeah, check this book for adult language or concepts.
There is some concept and theme that may be considered too advanced for middle grade audience. Here are a few points considered complexity relationship in the history, the backstory of Walter, and the mention of password keepers. Well, it's kind of the prologue, so you kind of need it depending on how it's written. While this had death to them might be a bit heavy without sufficient context for the young reader. Well, that's why it's on the start to give context to the story.
I guess the question there is we could read through it for that, looking for that kind of question.
Yeah. So the philosophy concept, the exploration of the nature of the boundary between the realms and the implication of merging them touch a philosophical idea that may not resonate clearly with all middle grades. Definitely, you cannot touch everyone all the time. So some children are looking to read story and they're not always between 7 and 13. So it's not always easy to catch everyone.
Ask it to look for words that are too
Um,
that are with too big for kids. Maybe if we look for words, it'll be better. Complex. Yeah, difficult's good. I might give it an age range, 7 to 9.
I
Something
just
like
made it
that.
in the way that
Yep.
that I want him to tell me about the age.
Ah, okay.
Unremarkable, this word would be substituted with ordinary. I like the idea of giving me some words to choose from. Emerald white may be understood by some simpler description, such as green could be clearer. weathered, that the AI likes to do weathered ends or wrinkle ends or calluses ends.
So what I like about this stuff is it gives us it has the context of the story, it has the context of your story Bible,
Mm-hmm.
and it's giving you stuff that you may or may not be able to use, and you as an author are able to read through this stuff and say, no, I'm okay with that part, but it's just sort of calling your attention to where you are possibly pushing kids' ability to comprehend.
Yeah.
And you make that choice that you're going to leave that in there, or you're going to adjust it slightly.
Yeah, I can do a plugin with this.
I love a plugin with this. Okay. And the other one is expand. So is there a point, ask this, is there a point where we should expand, or that needs that rushes through the scene?
Is there any?
Use the word expend, which sounds like you're going to pay something. Is there any way to place it? Yeah, see, it's talking about expending. Let's try ask it for where is it rushing? Where is the story? Where does the story brush over detail? Yeah. Walter reflects on his past with world keepers. History is interesting. Feels like there's an interesting backstory that could be explored. The nature of the corruption, while the corruption seduces how it affects the clouds and the consequences of the earth could be fleshed out more. The rules of magic, the nature of corruption. Let's look for something near the end, because usually what happens is that as it gets closer and closer to the end, it kind of starts jumping.
That's something that they do sometimes. I have a hard time is when they get to the antagonist. Why the antagonist is the antagonist, there's not a whole lot of explanation.
Okay, so let's find references to the cloaked figure. So I might just look for cloaked and see if we can find places that are further on in the story where it might be good to give us some backstory for the cloaked figure. Okay, that's her drawing the cloaked figure. Keep going. Sweeping motion, surge of black particles. Walter staggers backward, his containment field shrinking.
So we have it twice here.
Yep. Do you want to try adding in a flashback for the cloaked figure here? Or
That's
are we?
a
We're pretty far along. It depends on where we're at. If it feels like it's actually needs to be about action, you don't want to go into a flashback. I don't think. But
Hold on, I have to click that back. Oh, but what just happened here? My mistake. Okay,
you can use your find. It's open.
it is?
It was. Now you close it. The cloaked figure. Yeah. I think you were at 3 or 4.
So it is. There we go.
So you might put into brackets, insert a flashback backstory with the cloaked figure and his motivations that explains what his explains his motivation.
Yeah. Where's my key?
Okay, there we go.
I insert the flashback to explain the cloaked figure action.
Motivations. Why is he doing what he's doing? Yeah, and then let's just hit expand on this and see what it gives us. Expand. It's
Hold on,
probably there.
I have to close the this one here. Okay. Where's expand?
Usually it floats. There. It was there a second ago. There, stop. The white bar, it's in there.
I know it's in there, but it's writing.
Oh, you hit it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
On the far side of the gateway, near invisible behind the breathing blackness, the figure stands, tall, cloaked, and absolutely still. Even with the storm screaming around them, Dev feels the cold pressure of that presence. It's like being watched through a microscope by some things that's forgotten what it means to be alive, but still wants more than anything to observe what happens when the slide cracks. The gateway itself pulses faster, synchronized to the cloaked figure's movement. The effect is deliberate, calculated, a pattern of signaling that reminds Dev uncomfortably of a computer virus exploding a weak firewall. A sudden, sharp flash makes him flinch, and for an instant, the figure's face is illuminated from beneath. Silver mask, unreadable expression, and a single glass bead embedded where the third eye, third eye should be. The bead glows faintly with the same blue as Walter's medallion, but colder, more precise. A shudder runs through the storm front, and the world lurches sideways. Lily yelps, nearly tumbling out of the skiff. Dev grabs her wrists and holds her upright, but his own grip is slick with sweat. He doesn't let go. Walter on the cloud. So how long is this? This is pretty intense.
It's intense. Whoa.
It's really long, which may be fine. Let's have
And then that part.
we need is the we need help him now. Wisp, get us as close as you can.
Closer of what?
That's the anchor, right? We need to help him now.
That's the anchor right there.
Yeah, and he's outmatched, and everyone knows.
That anchor is basically to tell you that he finished the expansion from the top of where we asked for, which I believe it's here.
More importantly, it's to tell the AI, this is where you're writing to. And so your choice of anchor is important because it will give you that like maybe you want to write until it flashes back, or maybe you want to write until whatever. So it's like if it's not there in the dialogue or there in the paragraph that's coming after it, you might even want to add a paragraph or your own anchor point that's similar to your instruction. But what the anchor point is essentially saying is, now back in the real world, so you can put information in there that provides that anchor that says, okay, right between here and here, and then stop here because you're coming back to the real world kind of thing. So you can use the anchor and you can write your own anchor in order to get that sort of in and out of the flashback.
So we could have put that down, and we could probably even put it inside of it. And he probably will rewrite this part in a better way.
Yeah. Or you can put it in instructions, flashback to the present moment. And so you can use instructions to do that way. But what I'm saying is that you can also use an instruction as an anchor point, because maybe you would write the instruction more clearly in terms of this happens, then this happens, then this happens. Yeah. And that's between here and here that I want this to get bigger. But you've got the whole story before that tells you what happens before, but you only get that anchor to tell it where to finish writing. So we did expand, we did a little rewrite, we did a little chat, and we did the chapter by chapter audit. Nice. Let's go to the next. Series addiction, strategies to maintain momentum across your book series. Satisfying resolutions, with intriguing setup for sequels. This is important if you're writing series. Give a little hint about what's going to happen in the next book. And that kind of information was coming up through the way we've been writing the outlines for the series. and we wrote a series outline, and then the book outline gives a hint as to what's into chapter book 2, book 3, book 4. So check to make sure it lines up with what you want it to do. But I feel like what we've been doing with planning for series gives us results that are satisfying and serial.
Yeah.
Character growth. It says continuing naturally for subsequent books, but some protagonists have flat arcs, like 007 or Detective Series. Other characters around them change, but your main character has a strong personality and may make micro growth. Like think of Murder, She Wrote, or think of Monk. He doesn't really change from being, unless it's like a 20-year series finale where suddenly he has emotions or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's not anxiety. Series wide mysteries. So establish early to engage readers. Again, this is what we're talking about. This is why we talk about planning a series for a series, even if you're only going to write that pilot and you use that pilot to see if other people want to see more of these books. And recurring elements, build anticipation with familiar themes. Readers want more of the same, but different. Look for templating your ideas, your story ideas. How do I write my next book? Use novel import for series consistency. So I'm not a huge world building at the beginning writer. I'm not going to plan out my characters. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to. I want to discover them in the writing and getting it into the page as much as possible. This works for the first book. It doesn't work for the second and third and fourth. So as you are committing to canon, what's happening in the story, and anything that needs to be set up for book 3 and 4 does need to be in early. So that's where you do have the ability to plan for that. But when it becomes canon, after you've finished that first book on a very sparse story Bible, say, you want to take that first book, use novel import to build the story Bible, which is essentially the story Bible for the completed first book. Then you throw away the outline and you use your second story outline inside of that story Bible, and it grows the second book out of the first. And then you take the second book and you do a novel import, and it's a series folder so that it shares the first book and the second book, and the third book will grow out of this first and second. But I don't want to tell the AI everything about my book, because I want the AI to discover it in the writing as it's coming along. The only real safe hidden place from the AI is in the scenes that are in the scenes box. It only focuses on one scene at a time, and it doesn't look into the future scenes. And so you can even make it more so by just feeding it one scene at a time and editing in between. That's another approach.
That's the difference here. So that one here, it was written all in one project. So book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until 4, including my outline, everything was written here in this project. The one that we show is also the one that you import the book. So book 1 is here, been import. We got the outline from chapter book 2, we brought it in, and then we wrote book 2, which is here at the bottom. So this way we have book 2, and then book 2 gets exported, and you create basically a new project, and that's where, oh no, you just import simply, and it is going to create one anyway.
Yeah, and it creates my voice. That's incredibly cool.
Yeah, it is.
So if you create my voice for your first book, then you can edit your second book with my voice for your first book. You could do rewrites of particular things to make sure it stays in consistent author tone for the book you're writing now. I love that.
So this image there is I create a different plugin to take the whole story and give me an image that tell the story. So the middle grade illustration planner, I think I put it inside this, right?
Yep, it's
Yeah.
right there.
The two I create, they're both here. So you can have fun with that. You can select the whole story. I think I put up to 50,000 words, and the result is pretty good on the image that it gives. So you can
The
have
other
fun.
one that's there is the sketch, which you can use to create sort of black and white sketches that you might want inside of your book
Yeah,
to use as small images. But these are electronic books. You can use full color images, and it doesn't cost more to deliver a digital book with full color images. But if you're looking for that style of book that you remember, um, like Freddie the Pig or Winnie the Pooh, with these small little uh, sketches, you can use the black and white generator, and that will give you some good sort of interstitial elements that you could mix into your text.
I guess I didn't do this one. I thought I did it. I
So
didn't
do
I
it.
didn't create a visualize on
Yeah.
this one. Because I think I did, but it didn't look like a sketch, but I guess I forgot to do it. In the meantime, you can talk, see if I can create that sketch, what it's going to look like.
Definitely create the sketch. Let's see it. These also work well in ChatGPT, Nano Banana. Both of those have the ability to add text to the pages if you want, or to edit sort of as an editor, like asking for the changes that you would ask for from the artist. Oh, that's nice. It's not
It's like in black and white, but it's a different design.
Let me see what the text that says that it came up with looked like again. Capture over the shoulder.
Hold on. That
Copy
one.
that
View
in again.
Lady and Dev in Trouble Helmet. They don't say anything about black and white, so.
So tell it that you want black and white line art sketch on white background. Thanks, Ellie. We are at the top of the hour. We're going to go a little bit longer. If you need to drop off, that's fine. We're being recorded, so you can always come back and get it. And Manon might be doing some more stuff. She always does. Yeah, try that.
He knows even if we make little mistakes, so.
Again, I found that using ChatGPT, Nano Banana, Midjourney, Sora actually does great imagery. I was able to get multiple thumbnails on a Sora. That's not sketchy enough. We have to describe it better. They're making, oh, that's what they're doing. They're sketching that.
Yeah, they're sketching because they're sketching the octopus. So it's a sketch in a sketch. It's not bad in black and white.
I need to give you that, the real thing.
All right. So let's see where we are in the rest of our little presentation so we can get sidetracked. Sorry about that. What am I sharing now? Okay, we're back on this.
Yeah, we're just talking about using novel import for series consistency, or you can also do like Manon did, which is write the entire series in a single project. That works really well for shorter 10,000 word stories.
Yeah.
Because it will only read back 20,000 words. You may still need to do summaries of stories that you can use the connectors back, or keep a page where you put summaries of your stories so that you can sort of feed back into it.
So did we read all that already?
Yeah. Your post-workshop action plan. I don't know. Finish polishing your first book. Use whatever works best for you.
Yeah.
Take it to Claude, take it to ChatGPT. Try
Take it
the
to
plugins.
yourself and read it.
Read it. Read it out loud. and make it work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, find reading partners. And it's hard to find people that will read your work, because that's why we're here with the AI. We're getting the AI to read it for us. But if there's other people that you like and that you're in, even the people in Discord that are not trying to sell you something, um, or maybe they're in the workshop here and you guys are making, and you can trade. You say, "Oh, I'll read your 10,000 word story if you read my 10,000 word story." And you can easily share these with Sudowrite, and they can make suggestions and comments, and you can feedback with each other. Look for opportunities like this.
We have
You can
that
always
somewhere,
use.
right?
We have the beta readers forum channel.
Where is it? Beta
It's on a community. No?
beta reader right there.
There we go. That's a place which has a very distinct way to ask for beta readers. But what I'm suggesting is that you look for people writing books like yours who you can sort of trade off with, because you are asking them for a big favor and you can pay them back in kind. And that is, don't worry too much about people trying to steal your ideas, because there's a lot of ideas, but B, there's people don't feel ownership of your ideas. If you're talking to people that are making their own stuff, they want to make their own stuff. So I don't think you need to worry too much about people stealing or cross stealing each other's ideas. You do need to find people you can trust, and you do need to and I say you're not really in competition with each other, you're in competition with the rest of the world. So find people that you can ally with and share and get feedback from, and work on your cover art. And then
Mm-hmm.
I say record your final read aloud for final edit pass and audiobook. Each chapter is a separate audio file. That's a completely crazy different other class, but why not do it? Why not record it, even if the quality isn't good enough? You
That's
could
where
look into
Speechify
you,
comes in.
you could try it with Speechify. I would recommend trying it yourself, because readers like to hear your voice,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to figure out how to make it better in terms of, hey, get a mic, avoid condenser mics if you don't have a studio. Look for dynamic mics. Spend $70 on a mic. Don't and if you, but you don't even have to. You've got a laptop. You can do Zoom calls and talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
You can also record your stories, and there's free software out there. Audacity is free, and it's very simple to use. And you just need to create single chapters. Each chapter is its own audio file.
Is there a
Um,
good AI that can be used to record your own voice with all the intonation and actually put in chapter by chapter, or even just like half a chapter at a time, and then the AI basically read the story in your own voice?
11 Labs has things like that. Again, you're going to pay for that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going off somewhere else to do it. I would, especially when you're talking about kids' stories and bedtime stories, read it like you read it to your grandkids, and make it. Just try it out and see if people like it. People like to know the author, especially with this, and I think that's super useful, and it's also with nonfiction.
Mm.
Clarity is important, but sometimes
Okay.
what's important is the person that is the author.
Mm-hmm.
And then month 2, theoretically, submit book 1 while continuing series work. Cadence is key. Write ahead far enough to keep your books coming out on time. So aim for a book a week, a book a month, a book every 3 months, whatever it is. The closer in time you can make it, the better Amazon will love you. But if you dump it all in 3 days, it might be like, oh, did you use AI for this?
Mm-hmm.
And is it any good? Who knows? Please join our free Discord community if you haven't yet. We have resources and guidance, and we're there to ask questions of, and we make better workshops if you ask questions. And we have Hi at Sudowrite is how to reach our friends, and our Discord invite is right here.
And the winners are the children. So thank you for playing. Until next time. So that was a quiet one today. It's
Yeah.
we were trying to find a big bang like we did the engine, the steam engine, but it's not the same thing with children.
Do we want to stop the recording, or we don't have to stop the recording, but do you want to say that, did we do the outro for the class? I guess that
Yeah,
was the
so
outro.
thank you everyone for being with us today. We appreciate having you for the whole series of for 4 weeks. We were like a small family, so totally appreciate this. And I had a lot of fun, and I create myself a couple of series now that I have a few months that I have to work on them. So now I hope you are in the same boat than me. What's you, John?
Absolutely. I have a lot more stuff to work on now. So thank you guys for coming to the workshops and creating that expectation. And I'm hoping that we can see what you guys do.
Yeah, Manon and John, yeah, we set the vibe. Sudowrite rhythm, let the stories come alive. From the spark of desire to a burning flame, we teach you the craft and you play the game. Words like waves rolling on the sea, characters dance and set your passion free. Build a world, let the fire ignite. This is how we write, erotica, write it right. Write it hard, write it true, with fire, heart, and John guiding you. Sudowrite flow, reggae groove in the night. Come learn how to shine, how to burn, how to write right. Write it hard, write it true, with fire, heart, and John guiding you. Sudowrite flow, reggae groove in the night. Come learn how to shine, how to burn, how to write. Yeah, 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 yeah. Series strong, yeah, the readers stay. Cliffhangers calling, they can't look away. Plot and desire, rhythm in the beat. Turn every chapter into heat so sweet. Raise your hand or drop it in the chat. We'll answer your questions, imagine that. Q&A time, we jam and we vibe. After the record stops, we still live. Write it hard, write it true, with fire, heart, and John guiding you. Sudowrite flow, reggae groove in the night. Come learn how to shine, how to burn, how to write, yeah. Write it hard, write it true, with fire, heart, and John guiding you. Sudowrite flow, reggae groove in the night. Come learn how to shine, how to burn, how to write. Write it hot, write it bold. Turn your fantasies into gold with Manon and John. The story ignite. Sudowrite reggae, feel the love tonight, yeah. Write it hot, write it bold. Turn your fantasies into gold with Manon and John. The story ignite. Sudowrite reggae, feel the love tonight. Write it hot, write